It is day 18, and we're looking at sales as we're rounding off this 21-day course about brand communications. I've been talking you through a series of steps to become a reflexive thinker when it comes to your brand communications. I have used case studies, examples from my own experience as a content creator. Also, as a public relations practitioner, I've been in the game for more than 20 years. I'm a chartered public relations practitioner. I've been taking you through 7 strategic zones that I have in my system to analyze and use a lens when looking at problems, dilemmas for brand reputation, for example. What informs that is my background in systems thinking. I'm currently in the last few months of my master's in science and systems thinking. I also speak about politics and current affairs. That's linked to my politics and media commentary channel. So I bring in real world examples from right now, from the news cycle. And now we are at this stage of the course, day 18, where we are for a few days before the last integration day, 21. Look at how we can approach sales without feeling icky and allergic to the sales process. This episode is about how we are told to handle objections during the sales process before they are raised. In order for you to handle an objection, you have to be able to anticipate what the resistance will be. You have to address the concerns proactively in your pitch. How do you do that? How do you get to that point? There's a reason why my zone 3 of my 7 strategic zones is about risk readiness, because you've done the zoom out. You are targeting a particular audience segment or a stakeholder. You are aware of where they're sitting, what the sentiment is currently within that audience segment landscape, if you like, and you can revisit the earlier episodes in this 21-day course. So, in order to anticipate what the resistance will be, what you can do is have that awareness of, so this target that I'm going for feels this way, thinks this way, views things this way, especially when it comes to what I'm offering. That's why it's really important for you to do that work, to look at your risk readiness. This isn't just to handle objections for a sales process, this is for your reputational management as well. And that's why I have an entire zone. So I've got to lean this way. My bad. No, it is zone 3. My list is right there. I have to have it all written out because I talk about so many facets of this process. I need a reminder. The zone 3 area is all about our reputation management, designing a reputation management process. And that's why I have a course. You can just, it's free. Go ahead. Link is in the description. So you can find that. So to anticipate resistance, you have to have this awareness. This is a lecture series, remember, and we are here to discuss, to reflect. I'm not going to dumb this stuff down for you. I'm not going to chop it up with lots of edits. I'm here to have a conversation with you. Let this be a process where we don't allow our cognitive skills and ability to rot. There's so much of that going on. The other part of this, of anticipating resistance and being able to handle objections proactively, is to have that awareness. Remember, zone 7 is about reflexivity, and this entire course has been about you being a reflexive thinker and using what's at your fingertips in terms of your skills, your resources, using everything within your arsenal, your repertoire to handle your brand communications to make it effective, impactful. And so when you have a greater awareness and you have cultivated this skill of being a reflexive thinker when it comes to the brand communications you are handling, whether it's your own or a client's, you'll be in a better, stronger position to handle an objection because you are in the arena. The trouble is, and I've told a story just a couple of days ago on day 16, where I'm working in telesales, I'm working off of scripts, and you kind of lose your mojo and suddenly you're not making any sales that day. And then on the days that you're really in the flow, what is allowing you to be in the flow is because you have a consistent awareness of your area of expertise, of the situation. And when you are in it and you're in the arena, you are far more able, agile to pull an objection handling line off the top of your head. This is very much a public relations and comms tool. I looked at stakeholder dynamics and the power balances on day 6. When you have that knowledge of your stakeholders, and remember, I have zone 2, all about your stakeholder mapping, and I have an entire playlist dedicated to that zone and to every other zone. When you have awareness of your stakeholders and you know what the dynamics are, you know what the power relationships are, what happens then is that not only can you handle an objection proactively in your pitch, not only can you anticipate what will their resistance be, you can also have that zoomed out thinking. When you have a zoomed out thinking, you can anticipate the next one, the next one, the next objection, because your audience is plugged in, hopefully. And if they're not, and they're only plugged into that first level of resistance, that's fine as well. What I'm saying here is, in order to make your sales more effective, your communications needs to be on point. Your communications awareness of your audience, where they sit, how they feel. Just going through a document of AI generated rebuttals will not be enough. When I speak about media and politics on my commentary channel with educational angles there as well, I have to be very much plugged in to every political spectrum, their long form content, their short form content. I'm on every platform to really soak it up, and not just British politics, but American politics and international geopolitical dynamics. Why? Well, firstly, I'm interested and I want to be in the arena. I don't want to not know what I'm talking about, especially because if I'm speaking about the electoral system in Britain, in this country, and one of my stakeholders, i.e., my audience, are in the comment section and they refer to something in Iran or refer to something in New Zealand or Greenland, I want to be able to engage with them. Now, that's not a sales process. The reason why I'm painting this picture is for us to appreciate, in order to have that conversational dynamic when we are doing sales, we have to know what we're talking about. We've got to be in the arena. We've got to have a sense of, where does this person sit, and having that kind of zoomed out awareness. And it's something that I unfortunately feel isn't encouraged in this realm of business and marketing. It is encouraging communications and public relations, because you have to abstract it higher levels, you have to employ critical thinking, you really have to learn how to read between the lines, which is why there is synergy between journalism, public relations, and comms. And as a systems thinker, you're not just reading between the lines, you're looking at the particles that form those lines. So this is why day 18, handling objections, is all about, yes, anticipating the resistance, but what could the resistance possibly be? And you cannot lean purely solely on a rebuttal's script. How are you finding the 21 days? I'm so happy for you to be here. Your time and attention is so precious. It's been wonderful to engage with you. I put this in the comments for day 18, sorry, for day 17. It's been so wonderful to engage with this process with you, to create it. I've had a great learning process through it. I tried whiteboarding. There were some episodes that I recorded with an actual whiteboard, and it just was horrendous. I'm glad I switched to a Teams one. And listen, it doesn't matter how long you have been in any area. It's great to be a beginner, and I've probably not done a 21-day course of this description and style on this YouTube channel or any of my YouTube channels really before I have delivered training in person. And it's been very different. And it's great to be a beginner. And it's great to start something with, oh, how do I do this? Let's figure it out and not be a perfectionist about it, although I really want to be a perfectionist about it. You're so wonderful. Congratulations if you've made it through the nearly 21 days. And if you are just finding this, then I'm Serena and you're so welcome here. Please do subscribe. And I'm going to see you on day 19.